Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. This is the end of day 2 of the Lula Smart absentee voter fraud trial. It was indeed an interesting day. Once again, no ABC, no WALB, no Fox News, no local radio station or newspapers that I could see. But I want you to know that the Ghetto Free Press and George Buster Rhymes, a retired military veteran, believes that we have a right to know what is going on in our community, state, nation, and world. And this is why I am doing what I do. I want everybody to know. This is what the state of Georgia, our news media outlets apparently think of the voting process here in the state of Georgia. I want you to know that the prosecution and the defense are operating under the laws of our state and nation. But it seems as if though there is a breakdown in our news media. It seems as if though somebody wants to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind to the times and unable to make tough decisions based on facts. As you know, the Equipment 10 plus 2 were arrested December the 21st, 2010, just a few days before Christmas. And whether you know it or not, much of the information about the Equipment 10 was not reported to the local news media and to the general public. Therefore, many people have never even heard of the Equipment 10 plus 2. But we who are connected and who love our form of government, who have had our sons and daughters to die in various wars all over the world, and even here at home in the Civil War, we are concerned about what is happening here in the state of Georgia and our beloved nation. Today is day 2. We got off to a slow start. The Honorable Richard Porter, I think, is doing a pretty decent job, and the lawyers are doing what they do. But I am proud of the citizens of Brooks County. For the first time in Brooks County's history, they went out and did what any good American should do. They went out and asked people to vote using the absentee ballot process. And as Attorney King said today, there is nothing on the envelope, on the application form for absentee ballots, or on the ballot itself that people cannot take that ballot and drop it into the mailbox for their mother, father, sister, brother, neighbor, or friend. He showed that today, and the prosecution said little to nothing about that point, because I think that it is indeed the truth. Moreover, the 2 witnesses today, the director of elections, she took office in 2011. CB, Attorney King, asked, was she aware of what happened in 2010? Well, it's obvious of that, if she wasn't employed until 2011, that she wouldn't know what went on with the Equipment 10 during that election. But the point we want to make here in closing, I'm not giving you what people would give you on the news reports. What I want you to know, I want you to know that it's strange how our nation parades itself around the world about we are a nation of laws, and that we believe in the right to vote, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, a right to worship in any denomination you like. Well, if Americans are not about that, then pretty soon she's going to find out what God has decreed, and God does not change. And what did God say? God didn't say that he loved the Jews better than anybody else. God didn't say he loved black folk better than he did white folks, or white folk better than Latinos. The Bible tells us, God, according to Scripture, said, I being Jah or Allah or Jehovah or some other 423 name that I have record of, God said, I have no respecter of persons, that what I say unto one, I say unto all. And if white America wants their children to get an education, then they should want the same thing for everybody else. Now we all know that the black man, his women, and their children were denied for centuries the right to learn how to read, how to write, how to do arithmetic, even to have a family structure. And so all of this is kind of relating to the Equipment 10+2 in this regard. And I'm gonna close. The work of the Equipment 10+2 by getting people to vote gave the Brooks County Board of Education a majority black voting power on the Brooks County Board of Elections. Brooks County Board of Education. The Brooks County Board of Education, not the Brooks County Board of Elections. But in speaking of the Brooks County Board of Elections, they have problems over there, and all you have to do is look at the links I'm going to put beneath this video, because I want to assure you that as a retired military veteran, it often troubles me in terms of how some people don't want all of the people to enjoy the blood, the sacrifice that Americans gave to keep this republic a republic. Now, I also want you to Google these places. Meigs, Georgia, black mayor, Linda Harris, who are almost driven out of office. I want you to Google Chris Wright, black mayor in Dawson, Georgia. I want you to Google Davisboro, Georgia, a black mayor. He say he's catching hell over there. I want you to Google Gordon, Georgia, Mary Whippleloo, I think I got it right. I want you to Google, better yet, just look beneath this video and look and see what is happening across the state of Georgia. And let me just add one other thing. Right here, when there were voting problems just a few blocks away from here, and the people came together, Brian P. Kemp, the Secretary of State, sent an investigator down to address the issues with voting problems. And do you not know that the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, never got back with the voters? And they are still asking me, Rhymes, what are they doing? They sent an investigator down, but we still haven't heard nothing about the findings, and we done had a couple elections since then. So once again, I'm here to let you know that Equipment 10+2, Lula Smart case, first it was a mistrial, and now they are trying her again, and that is the state of Georgia. I want you to know that what I'm doing is so important that the founding fathers of this republic should reward not only me, but the other people now who are picking up cameras and doing the same thing. Because if the big news media, who are getting paid undoubtedly from somebody who don't want to keep the general public informed, well, just maybe God is saying to us, Galatians 6 and 7 through Apostle Paul, that God is not mocked, that whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. Or just maybe, all of this happened with Equipment 10, the Madison voters down there that they arrested the same way, the voting irregularities in Willacoochee, Georgia, wherein they called me over there to record. They had a press conference and they called all the news media in Willacoochee. They say the mayor was paying people to vote for them. And then when they called the press conference, I was the only somebody there. No news media showed up, y'all. Not a one. And listen, y'all know I don't lie, because I don't have to. I'm a free American. Thank God for the great warriors, both black and white and German and Japanese and Christian and Muslim and Jew and Hindu and other, who love God and who love this nation and who love their children and want to have what is right for coming generations of children. Oh, we're gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep coming, and we're gonna keep coming, because we refuse to let the wicked take over this country wherein our blood and the death of so many blacks are crying out from the grave. So many white right peoples are crying out from the grave because they want America to be the beacon of hope, not only for Georgia, but for the whole world. And when we stand up for what is right, then God will be pleased with us. And so I'm gonna close out now, but I want you to know that God is yet in control, just as sure as 1, 2, 3. Too many people bled, suffered, died, and some people are just lost in the cosmos. But yet, the state of Georgia and the United States of America is still one of the best nations on the planet today. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all people. Not just a select few, but for all people. And so I have no problems pledging allegiance. After all, I did it for 21 years in the United States Armed Forces during the Vietnam era. And the Georgia flag, we love you too. And even if you will steal the cross bucks on the Confederate flag, we still love you, because we understand where that old cross buck flag come from. And it came from the continent of Africa. Our ancestors had it engraven in stone, and it was red, white, and blue, and it had 13 stars on it. And so we have no problem with any of this. All we know is what Jesus said, and that is that ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. Bye-bye. You go.